With the recent reveal in Black Clover chapter 273 within the manga, it might be a bad sight of what is to come in Black Clover. And what I mean by that is it feels that the series might be ending soon, or that it's nearing its final arc at the very least. And so I want to talk about that in this video, talk about why it might be the case, but again, also talk why it might not be the case. But that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts down below on this video. Like it if you do enjoy, and also subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to hire me as an online personal trainer, I can get you in shape by the spring or summer, even if your gym is closed. But with that being said, let's get into this video. So, guys, going into the series, we had so many questions about Black Clover. Now, the end of the elf arc would answer a lot. We got an answer of basically, his body was the vessel for Licht and Tetia's son. We get the answer of, what really happened in the past, and it wasn't that Lumiere betrayed Licht, it's that a devil tricked both of them and caused the whole conflict. So that was a huge reveal and answer of what actually happened. And then going into this arc, the war against the Spade Kingdom, there were still a lot of questions that needed to be answered and revealed, and we got a lot of those. We got the anti-magic devil revealed. What his name, who he is. He's Lieb, and he was a devil raised by Asta's mom, and then sealed into the grimoire by her so that he could one day become strong enough and basically save him from Lucifero. Then, that kind of goes in hand is Asta's mom is revealed. Lucita, she gets revealed, and with her reveal and the reveal of her power, we get the reveal of why Asta was dropped off at the church. That was another huge question. He gets dropped off at the church, and by whom? It's his mother. She drops him off at the church because she steals people's mana, and then if you run out of mana, she steals your life energy. So this answers another question. Why did Asta have no magic? Well, it's because his mother stole all of it. That's actually basically implied. It's not directly stated, but it is heavily implied. And then she would have to drop him off because she would be stealing his life energy and essentially killing him in the process. Then, the next question, how did anti-magic come into existence? Well, that gets revealed with Lieb. He was trapped in the grimoire, and for however long, it's hard to tell, at least, a decent amount of years probably. And then what we get is he is basically cursing the other devils while in the grimoire, and he manifests anti-magic power within himself, and that's how anti-magic is coming to fruition. So, with all that, we get all those, questions answered. We know about Asta's grimoire. It was Licht's grimoire, the chieftain of the elf tribe. He basically went into despair. It turned into a fifth leaf, and it's very likely that these swords are items made by dwarves once the dwarves were revealed. So we have all these essentially questions finally answered. All these huge questions all answered. Some of them were answered one chapter or just a few chapters. We got a lot of the reveals. We got basically during Asta's bout with Lieb, we got basically his identity revealed, Asta's mom revealed, why he was dropped off the church and who dropped him off, and why he had no magic. And then we also had it revealed how anti-magic came into existence. So those are 5 huge questions all answered within a few chapters. Now we're going into basically what almost seems like the final arc. Now, the reason why for this is that Asta is reaching this epitome of power. He is about to use Devil Union, which is using basically his full devil form. As it was teased in the last chapter, he's gonna be with anti-magic armor. And then he's just gonna be unstoppable. Even Nox says if he masters Devil Union, he's going to be the strongest. As in, that would be the strongest in the country or continent. It would be one of those things, which means he's ready to be the Wizard King probably at that point, at least in terms of power. And another huge thing that was revealed in the last chapter is one of the reasons people would say that Black Clover is not ending soon is because Morris was built up to be a villain at some point in the future, and that means that after the Spade arc, he's going to be the villain. But now, Morris is a part of the Spade Kingdom. He was revealed in the last chapter as helping the Spade when it comes to technology. So now we have Morris brought into this, which that brings another, not necessarily a question. I guess you could, ask when the question is, when will Morris be returned and revealed? We already saw an image of him in early in the manga, but actually see him in person and doing stuff and talking. Well, we got that last chapter. So another huge question and another huge possible future for the series answered just like that. He's already in this arc. He's going to be helping the Spade with his magic technology. And I guess not a question, but just another thing is what I also brought up is, it was like, when is Asta going to use the full black form, where he just completely is covered in black? Well, like I just said, it's probably going to be this arc when he goes full Devil Union. He has basically an armor set of anti-magic, and then he defeats Lucifero. Then we have all of these devils coming in. You have the Dark Triad, which are on the lowest level of the Cliff-Off tree, then it gets higher and higher and higher, then it goes up to Lucifero. And this is a world-ending event, and Vasta is the hero of this. He essentially gets multiple things. He saves the world, not just the Clover Kingdom, and he basically excuses himself from his past crimes that the Clover Kingdom was trying to fair frame him for, essentially, by saving everybody and defeating these devils. But what else is there? Now, there's another thing that, you know, people will kind of say, that's the Earth Spirit, but based on where all of the spirits were essentially placed, you had the Fire Spirit and Clover, the Water and Heart, and then you also had Wind Spirit and Clover. Now, Earth Spirit, that means it's either in Spade or Diamond, just based on the countries and stuff. And it was originally that the Fire Spirit was in Diamond, so that would probably signify Spade. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Earth Spirit is revealed this arc, and that's another huge reveal, and it removes another future possibility for the series. At least it removes an amount of possibility. Most of the main questions have now been answered, guys. Most of them have been answered, which means that the more questions that are answered, the more likely the series is getting closer to its end. Pretty much all the questions now are more minor questions, the questions that are more recent, not ones that have been around since the very beginning of the series. Like, there is the question of who will become the Wizard King, Yuno or Asta, but that could easily just be solved and answered in a mini arc, maybe a 10 to 15 chapter arc after this Devil arc, and it's just essentially a fight between Asta and Yuno. Maybe they both have equal stars in merit at that point, and they have to fight to decide who the Wizard King is, and then that's the end of the series. What other questions are there to like kind of answer? There's dwarves, sure, but that's again a later thing that is could potentially be brought up, but then again, that could be drawn into this arc because of the ties with Charmy in the latest chapters. Could the Jotun be involved? I guess they could be. But then again, the devils are kind of already taking that spot for them. Will it be angels? There could be. But then again, the elves are already the mythic parallel, and they already hold the symbolism of angels. Are there maybe gods of fate? Yeah, I think that would be a great arc. And maybe it's after the Spade arc, it's the Gods of Fate arc, and then it's the Asta versus Yuno deciding the Wizard King match, and then it's over. We still don't know the origins of grimoires, but guys, just because a series ends does not mean that every question is answered. We might not get every single question answered. So, basically, does this Black Clover reveal, the reveal of Morris, does that hint at this series is ending soon? Because that removed one of the major possibilities. Now, I guess it could be that he escapes this conflict and he becomes a villain later on, which I hope, because I hope that Black Clover goes on for a long time. Like, we're almost at chapter 300. I hope we get more than twice that. I hope that it gets at least Naruto levels, or maybe even One Piece levels. Now, while the manga sales are not great, I believe that it still is top 20, or if not, very close. It still has regressed in sales. I believe it was 2018. It had over 3 million sales of the manga, and it was actually the 11th highest selling manga in the world. But it since has regressed in sales, though the anime does still make a lot of money. I believe it's the 4th most profitable anime on TV Tokyo, so the series still makes a lot of money, but is it gonna, keep going when they could maybe cancel Black Clover, start a new series that will make more money? Because it's kind of sad to think, because, Black Clover is my favorite manga right now. Number 2 would be My Hero Academia, but if you look at it, Jujutsu Kaisen is already selling more than Black Clover. It doesn't have it, or the anime just started. Chainsaw Man is selling more than Black Clover, and the anime, it doesn't even have one yet. Fire Force is starting to sell more than Black Clover, and it's, I believe in its 2nd season now. It's still early on. And I will not be surprised if Undead Unluck and Marshall and maybe even Build King, very possible, and I honestly think that it will happen, that at one point, once Marshall and Undead Luck gets more volumes to sell, like more actual physical volumes that are released, and then it gets an anime, they will also probably surpass Black Clover and manga sales. Now, again, it's not all about manga sales. It is one of the biggest indicators, though. But at least Black Clover has the anime going for it. But it's just that you have the manga sales going down. The fact they don't release a lot of merchandise, it makes me almost think that Black Clover is not going to be going on for as long as a lot of people thought. I remember a lot of people said Naruto, or a lot of people said it would be going on as long as One Piece. But actually, I remember going back and looking. He never said that he plans on making Black Clover as long as Naruto. I think he said he hopes it can go as long as Naruto, or something like that. And people say that, oh, well, the Elf arc was arc 1 of 3, and that means that there's going to be roughly like 650 chapters. But again, he's never said that as well. In that interview, he said that was the first arc. He never said it was 1 of 3, which means this could be a 2-arc series, a 2-part series, and this is really only going to be like in the 400-something chapter ranges, which is still, we get another like almost 3 years of weekly Black Clover releases, which would be great. But I am a bit nervous for what's going to happen and anxious for what's going to happen for this series. This is my favorite series of all time for manga. You know, I've read a lot, but there's something about Black Clover. It's great. I love the art, the fight scenes, the lore. I just really hope that it does go on for a long time. I think there's still so much more to go with. You know, I'd love for it to go on for a long time. I hope that one day when I have a family and I have kids that I will show them Black Clover, and Black Clover is still going strong, although I highly doubt at this point. I think I talked about this a bit, maybe a month ago, that I think I said something like it was like 60% chance that we're not that close to the ending of Black Clover. But I now it's kind of 50-50 for me. I think that it's a kind of a 50% chance that we're not close, or it's a 50% chance that the next arc after defeating the Devils will be Austin, fighting each other to become the Wizard King, or there'll be just one more arc in between that. And then basically we get maybe a God of Fates arc after the Devil arc, and then the arc after that is Austin, fighting each other to decide who becomes the Wizard King. So you could kind of play something cool with that, where if you kill the Gods of Fate, now there's free will, which means that maybe if the Gods of Fate exist, they had fated somebody to become the Wizard King, which means it wasn't even Asta or Yuno's control for one of them to become the Wizard King. But if you kill the Gods of Fate, now there's free will, which means that either of them could become the Wizard King. Now it's up to them in a proper fight. But I still have hope. Like I said, I think it's just 50-50. But let me know if you have any information that maybe I haven't seen that can provide hope for the series. I know that I think it was the month of October maybe, where it was the most profitable like manga franchise in Japan. But that's just 1 month, and it still doesn't go against it. The manga sales are declining. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...